Hi, Jack. Oh, Netherlands, everything is fine. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness, Marquand, Elisa, Jack. I love you, Jack. Oh my goodness. Nikki, hello, hi. BD, aloha. Nia, hi. Karen, how are you? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do it because the information that is coming in is so intense. I literally woke up feeling like I was on fire today. And you're going to hear it in the way that I'm speaking. It's way more in my masculine energy, if you will. It feels way more intense. So if anything I'm saying today just feels like, ooh, it's hitting a button in a good way, please send hearts, let me know. Be very transparent in this conversation. I feel like it's something that we need to have as a community. And this energy that this moon is bringing us is so intense, okay? It's so intense, and I want us to feel prepared for it because this week can definitely make you feel like you don't know what's going on or make you feel like you can't trust in your desires, but you can, and we're going to talk about how, okay? So I am pulling up my class notes. You guys know I always have class notes for you all. I'm very, very excited because, woof, baby, the cosmos have a lot to give this week. Aries energy is usually very intense, very dramatic, and this is no different, okay? Yes, please do. Please. Hi, Isha. Good morning. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so on the 17th, we have a full moon in Aries known as the Hunter Moon, okay? And this will be a super moon. So that means that the energy that this moon is carrying is even more intense than a regular full moon. And full moons tend to be intense in general because it's like a culmination of energy. It's a culmination of emotion. It's usually when you are at your peak, right before you feel that sense of relief, okay? So keep that in mind. This is one of four that has happened this year. And what the moon will look like in the sky is like super big, very large. You'll feel its presence, okay? Aries is ruled by Mars. And it's the masculine side of Mars too, because Scorpio energy is also ruled by Mars, but it's the feminine energy. And you can tell the difference when you're in each season. Okay, so this brings bold, fiery energy that encourages us to act decisively and to align with our authentic selves. When I tell you that that energy is so real, do not be alarmed that when you're doing something this week, all of a sudden this thought comes in of like, yeah, but you want more. Yeah, but you're amazing. Yeah, but let's do more with life. Why haven't you done this thing? It's this challenging energy in a way that is there to stretch you. It's a questioning that if you're not using discernment, you may think it's your inner critic, but it's not your inner critic. It's the healthier part of your ego that's saying, hey, why are we not living our dream life? Why is anything outside of us controlling the outcome of how we live our life? Whether it be people, the environment, even if it comes down to like a past trauma, why us being these infinite beings, you being made of the stars and the cosmos in this universe, are you letting anything outside of you dictate how you get to shine your light in this world? It actually doesn't, my mind is so blown right now because it doesn't make any sense when you really think about it logically. We are infinite beings, not only just in the body that we inhabit, our spirits, we are connected. We're all part of the same soul group. I say this to you guys all the time. I really mean that. If there is something you see or you admire in me, it's because it's within you, and vice versa. So we have these gifts, these talents, these skill sets. Why are we not leaning into them? Why are we not showcasing them? Why are we hiding them? Why are we not being disciplined in that? It really, for those that are creatives, that are educated, that are healers, that know that they're here to push the world forward, that resistance that we've been feeling for so long has made us weary, has worn us down, has made us feel like, well, I'm just one person and I can't possibly shift the world. And that is complete and total bullshit. It really is. It truly is. It truly is. You are magnificent. Like, I am so overwhelmed with emotion because, like, I'm really speaking from a place of love, of like in my deep heart of hearts. You are an incredible human being. No one has survived what you have survived. No one has gone through what you have gone through. And you're still coming out of that with a kind heart. You're still coming out of that wanting to better yourself, being in community, loving on complete strangers every week. How could you not think that you are wonderful, that you are magical? Like, are we paying attention to our gifts? Are we paying attention to the magic that we are? Are we actually paying attention? That is what this full moon is inviting us to become aware of. Do you understand how amazing you are? Because if you don't fully understand it, this week is going to hit you like a ton of bricks and remind you that you are absolutely phenomenal and that there's no space for you to play small. I don't care if everyone is against your idea or everyone says that you can't do it. I don't care. And I have to remind myself of that in my own life. I've had people tell me all the things that I could and could not be, and it never mattered to me because I knew who I was. You told me no, and if I thought it was a yes, guess what? It was going to be a yes. I don't care. I've done so many unprecedented things in my life. And I had to sit with myself this morning in meditation. And I was on the phone with my sister because she was having a moment too. And I'm like, girl, we are incredible. Why are we allowing things outside of us to really shake us like this? I think about my ancestors alone and what they've had to endure living in this country alone. And they were able to not only endure it, but also to flourish to the point where I exist. That is who I'm standing on. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. We all are. I'm just, when I say I'm like so emotional, because I'm just like, we are stars. We are legitimate stars. We're stars. We're supposed to be shining bright, inspiring others, letting people see us and have hope and inspiration to know like, wow, there's a star shining in the sky. There's a light guiding me. And we only have to be ourselves to do that. You don't need to be anybody else but who you are, who you were designed to be. That's it. It's super simple. It's an amazing game plan that Source gave us. And we negate that game plan all the time. For what? You know? So yeah, I'm in a intense mood today, so bear with me, okay? But yes, that Aries energy, it's fiery, it's encouraging us to act, it's encouraging us to believe in ourselves. One thing about Aries energy, and if you meet an Aries person or someone who's Aries dominant, it's in their top 3, right? You'll notice that they have crazy amounts of confidence in who they are and what they can accomplish, right? Almost to the point where you're like, you don't have any doubt. No, most Aries people are just kind of like, yeah, I do this. And if it hasn't been done before, I'll be the first to do it because I like to be the first. That's their energy. And we have the privilege and the honor of being able to tap into that energy for this specific window with this super moon, helping us to channel into that fire, to help us really integrate our healthy ego. I talk about this a lot, that your ego is not a negative aspect of yourself. I want us to let go of that whitewashing and wellness, that there's something about you that is negative. Nothing about you is negative. You are a person, you are a body that feels energy. That's really it. And you are energy itself, feeling itself, right? So when it comes to your ego, if your ego is dysregulated, dysfunctional, yeah, you're going to do things that are just like a little cringy. Like, what are we doing here, right? But when your ego is healthy, that's where that go-getter mentality comes from. That willpower, that discipline, that confidence to stand on your own, even if no one else is standing with you. That confidence to see an idea through to its completion. Even if everyone says, no, it's not going to work. We hear this story all the time with people we admire. They were told no 1,000 times. Tabitha Brown was acting for almost 23 years. She had to wait for TikTok to be created. And now she is a superstar. You can think back to Steve Jobs wanting that idea of having computers in everybody's home. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? That is stupid. No one's ever going to do that. Flying planes in the sky. There's so many examples. And those people were average people. Not to say they weren't stars in their own right, but they were not born into some type of wealth or whatever. No, they were average people. But they continued to keep going. even when things were against them, even when they had to pause, they had to pivot, they had to stop, they had to change the direction, they had to replenish themselves, but they still continued to move forward. They still heard that calling within them, that there was something for them to give this world, and they did it until they saw it through. That is what I want for both of us. I want us to continue moving forward. I want us to see our purpose and our desires through, because there's a reason why it's in you. People need it, and you need to express it so that you can feel fulfilled at the end of your life. It is so important that we remember that, okay? I was like, stop rehearsing things, girl. Like, let the universe do what it does. Please. You're doing too much. As an Aries moon is giving hot and ready to go. Zuri, yeah. I am feeling the Aries energy. It's flooding my body, okay? Yeah, yes. Why is anything outside of us determining how we get to live our lives? I had to really sit with myself, and I could not come up with an answer. I really couldn't. And if you guys have one and you want to share it, please let me know, because I could not come up with an answer that would satiate this fire in me to be like, well, okay, well, maybe that's why. It was like, no, actually, no. If you want something and it is not harming anyone else, you have the ability to have it. Period. Yes. Today, my wife and me were also really intense in a bad and good way. Yeah, it might be because of the moon, DJ. I had to tell my sister, like, look, I know I'm sounding very intense. I'm not yelling at you at all. I love you. I care for you. I'm just very passionate right now. And I'm pretty sure I'm tapping into that moon energy. You are too incredible. You're just too incredible. You're just too incredible. And I just cannot. It is a part of my being and a part of the way that I love and care for people to remind them of their worth and that they're incredible people. And I don't actually have a tolerance for when people that I know are amazing even begin to think that they might not be. I just don't have it in me. Something else just comes out. I don't know if it's like my grandmother was very much like this too. My Nana was very intense and very passionate like that. She never allowed me to think little of myself. I don't know if it's that. I don't know what it is, but for me, I just can't. I can't tolerate. I can't hear it because it's not true. It's like, it's just not true. I can't hear it. So we were having an intense conversation. I'm just like, girl, you are amazing. We are both amazing. If there are things that we want in life, we are allowed to have them. There's nobody on this earth that can stop me at all. I haven't had it happen before. It's never going to happen. That is one thing I can assure myself of. No one can stop me. Nobody. I am amazing. I have amazing gifts and skill sets and talents. I care deeply. I'm coming from a good place. I nourish myself. I nourish my body, my mind, my spirituality so that I can come and express things with a genuine care so that it can be received whenever it's received. Because of that alone, that is why no one can get in my way and no one can stop me. Even if someone thinks that they can, and I would hate for someone to spend time and energy doing that. Blocking somebody else's dreams and blessings is such a weird thing to do with your time and energy. But even if there's someone on this earth that has that mentality towards me, how unfortunate for you, because you're never going to reach that goal. Because I am not the one. I am going to get exactly what it is I know I deserve to receive. I just believe it. I just know it to be true. I just do. I don't have any facts or anything scientifically based to back it up, but I know. But yes, Pluto and Aquarius. Yeah, that Aquarian energy too. Yeah, that innovative energy. Yes, and then that Pluto energy too. Pluto's all about transformation. That is the traditional planet that governs Scorpio. So like most Scorpios tap into that Plutonian energy as well as the Mars energy too. It makes us very intense creatures, to say the least. That resistance is bullshit. Love it. I got it. It is. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just not, it's not real. These are not real. Like, It's just not real. It's just not real. It's just not real. Oh, thank you so much, Peter. Love the fiery vibes coming through today, girl. Yes, yes, so true and glorious. Yes, no space to play small. No, there's no reason why you should be playing small. None. And as someone that has gone through a lot in life, that has gone through pretty traumatic things, I can say with love that those things that you had to go through, you had to navigate through, they happen so that you could understand just how powerful you are. I don't even want to say how strong you are, because I feel like there's just like this weirdness attached to the word strong. And as a Black woman, I do try to shy away from that. I don't want anyone to tell me like I'm a superwoman or that I'm strong. Like, I'm still, I like to think I'm fragile like a flower as well, right? But I'm also very powerful. There's a power, there's an energy that lives in us, that is us. And we have to do better as a community to acknowledge that power more, to let it be at the forefront. You know? I was talking about how, who was I talking? I was talking to two of my girlfriends yesterday. We went out salsa dancing and we were talking about, and these are very powerful, these are such cool women, okay? Like they're so cool. And we're talking. One of them is a doctor, the other one's like, I don't know, like top of her field in like pharmaceutical. These are really cool ass women. And we're talking, and we were talking about how sometimes people think that we're mean and how we just genuinely don't care. And it was just so refreshing, because it's like, I know I'm a good person, so like you thinking that I'm mean is irrelevant to me. But I also realized that like that meanness that people associate with women that understand and accept their power, that are willing to utilize their rage, right? A lot of times we are like told to push our rage away, or, you know, don't use your anger. But these emotions come up because they have information for us. And when you neglect those emotions, or you try to put them to the side to appease society, you end up becoming sick and dysregulated. Whether that's physical or in your spiritual or mentally, you end up being dysregulated for people who don't care about you. Because if they cared about you, they would allow you to express the full scope of your emotions. They would, if they cared about you, they would let you do that. When Parker is angry, I don't tell her she can't be angry. Yes, I help her find a way to express that anger. My goal is not for her to suppress her emotions. If she's angry, she is justified in that anger, whether I understand it or not. And I try my best to extend that to all people. You are allowed to feel these. It's not just joy, love, light. It's not just that. Yes, those things feel good, but also expressing your anger, when you're done expressing it in a healthy way, not in an explosive way, not in a way where you're attacking somebody. Again, that's just like that warped understanding of anger. Anger means I'm going to hurt somebody, I'm going to hurt something. No, that's like what movies teach you. Anger is that there is something in my life that is off. And the alarms are going off in my energy fields. The alarms are ringing. That's what anger means. Hey girl, you have not paid attention to that thing and it's getting worse. Someone is playing in your face. This environment is not safe. This thing you're eating, we don't like it in the body. Something. And you have to give yourself the space and time to be like, what is it that is making me angry? And how can I express this anger? Sometimes it might be painting, it might be drawing, or, you know, getting a scratch board and scratching. It might be going to the woods and screaming. It might be weightlifting. It might be, you know, doing martial arts, or going to go dance, doing something. Like, let the energy go, because once you've done it, the thing that happens after you release your anger and your rage is peace. People don't get to that point. They get stuck somewhere in between expressing their anger and their rage. They try, and somebody's like, whoa, 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 why are you so angry? And they're like, oh, let me reel it back. No.
This is a reminder. Water my plants.
Oh, thank you. Alexa, stop. I do need to water my plants. But, you know, like, allow yourself to get to that completion when expressing the anger and the rage. And Aries energy, Mars is the god of war. Like, that's their thing. It's totally about that. They're always down to fight. They either fight for their dreams, fight for their people, fight in general. Maybe not that part, you know what I mean? Unless it's like a professional thing that you do. But really and truly allow yourself to see your anger all the way through. Don't be afraid of any part of yourself. When I was younger, I had so much anger as a child. And I was often told that it was very unjustified, right? Because I lived a really good life. You know, I was really cared for by my family. You know, I went to really good school. Like, there was really no, I guess, outward reason for my anger. And now that I'm older, I realized that I was experiencing ancestral rage. But I wasn't given a space to be angry. So there was always a part of me that I was deeply terrified of. A part of me that I identified as like very monstrous. Like, I was like, I am afraid that one day I'm going to explode and I'm going to hurt people or hurt someone. And I don't know if I could live with that. So then I became hyper vigilant about controlling my emotions so that I never got to that point, because I really do love people. I don't want people to be hurt, you know? And I had to get to a point in my 20s where my body was just so fed up of doing that, of like, okay, but sometimes people need to see your anger. People need to know not to play with you. People need to understand that, hey, you don't do that to me. And when you enforce a boundary and that boundary is not respected, the consequence is your anger. You didn't respect something that I told you to respect. You could have walked away. You could have respected it, but you chose not to. Here's your consequence. Now we both learn that I need to defend myself if need be, and you need to stop playing people's faces. When they tell you no, it's no. It was just all these things as I got older. And then when I had the nervous breakdown and I had to really rebuild my nervous system from the ground up, I had to make space to express my anger, to express that darkness, because it's a part of me. I am an angry person at times. We all experience the feeling. Plenty of healers are rageful people, mainly because you see so many people that are going through the most traumatic experiences, are so just overwhelmed. Like, you feel for them, and this protective energy comes out, like, I want to care for you. We all have that, and we don't give it enough space for it to be realized, for us to see what information is providing us. And I really believe that this full moon in particular is saying you don't have a choice. Either you will do it, or you're going to be probably a very miserable person for the next week and some change. People are not going to enjoy being around you, because you're not allowing yourself to be all of who you are. Yes, okay, catching up. Oh man, everything's moving so fast. Let's see, it's gonna give you even more drive. Exactly. Yes, said this morning. 2 calls. Marquand, we're on it. Jack, thank you for your donation. Again, this is a donation-based experience. If at any moment in time something feels good for you and you're able to donate, please, any amount counts. It all helps for me to be able to show up and continue to do this. This is how I get to be a star. This is how I get to shine my light, how I get to live in my divine energy. You guys help me to do that when you donate. So whether you donate now, or you donate later, or use a different form of donating, whatever you can do, I'm always grateful for it. If you cannot donate financially, check out the podcast, send it to a friend, subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's so many different ways for you to show love and appreciation, and all of those ways help me. It helps me to realize that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It helps me to endure in the days and the times when I don't want to do this, when I don't want to show up, when I want to curl up into a ball and stay in my bed all day. When you guys respond to emails, when you guys send comments, these things, I save every single one of them. I really do. Because I have to read those things back when I don't feel like myself. You guys help me come back to myself. So please, whatever you can give, and do that for not only me, but for anyone that you feel gives you some type of spiritual or energetic nourishment, okay? Karen, thank you so much. It's me sometimes. Ginger, it's me sometimes too, girl. We just need a reminder sometimes, and you are the reminder, Lotus, that we are all creators of our life, and it starts with loving ourselves. Peter, it really does. It truly does. It starts with us, and it ends with us. Aries gang here. So Rihanna, you already know. You know how y'all get down, okay? Yes, the ego has a job to do, and we don't let it. We want the ego to be unemployed because we think that that's like cute. Like, I'm gonna eradicate my ego. My ego. It's just like, why would Source give you something so ingrained in your energetic system and way of being if it was harmful? Like, really ask yourself that question. I quite often ask the people who say that, like, I'm just trying to get rid of my ego, you know? I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, why would you want to get rid of your ego? Now, if you want your ego to be healthy, to function properly, yeah, dude, I'm right there with you, right? Because the ego can malfunction, right? The same way that the spirit can malfunction. Like, the same way that your inner child can be your inner brat. Like, yes, these things can malfunction. However, if we are taking care of ourselves and nourishing ourselves and giving it the space and opportunity to do what it needs to do, the way you help your ego to function properly is by letting it do its job. Its job is to big you up, to say, actually, Lo, you're really that girl. You can actually do that. That's not my higher self. That's not my inner child. That is my ego. That is my ego that hypes me up, that says, girl, you can do this. Keep going. One more rep. It's okay. You say what you need to say from your heart, and that's all that matters. Your ego has a job. Let your ego do its job. Okay? The wind. My house, when I say the energy is so wild in this house right now, I kid you not. Yes, the ego is the yin to the inner spirit yang. Agreed, agreed. Yes. Growing up, building confidence was a journey. And through my 20s, it has been, it's okay to feel in that I don't need to hide the emotions under confidence received. Zara, you don't. And the truth is, feeling your anger, feeling your rage makes you more confident. Because then you get to feel this raw power that comes with anger and rage, and you get to see how you can wield it, how you get to harness it. There's nothing more powerful than that feeling of like, oh, I know how to direct energy. You don't necessarily get that feeling from joy or bliss because it feels like a full body, like, ooh, like I'm just going with the vibes, and it feels good. It's very blissful, right? Euphoric even. But rage and anger, you have to direct it to where it needs to go. Now, the thing that people are more afraid of with rage and anger is when it's undirected. Yeah, because then you're like a ticking time bomb. You're just going to go off randomly one day. That's not cool, right? But get into the habit of practicing how can you handle your rage? How can you harness it? Where does it need to go? Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm really angry at this person. But me directing all of my rage and anger at one person seems diabolical. What can I do instead? I had to ask myself, where's the outlet for your darkness, Lotus? Where's the outlet for it? Because when you don't have an outlet for your darkness, you tend to let it seep through different places, and that can be through manipulation. It could be through being petty, being vindictive, being spiteful. These are all symptoms that you're not letting your anger out the way that it needs to be let out. Literally, because it has to be let out. It's going to find a way out. It will. It will find a way out. It will break you down if it has to. It does not care because you need the information. But when you have this awareness, you can sit there and say, like, ooh, when I know I'm being a little bit more moody or I'm a little more snappy, I'm like, wait a minute. When's the last time I've done anything to like honor the darkness that's within me? And then I realized, like, no, I've just been in my whole love and light situation for so long that it's starting to seep out onto people that I care for. Because that tends to happen. You're not going to be mean to a random stranger. You're going to be mean to people that you care for because you also understand energetically that they're going to still be there afterwards. They're going to be looking at you crazy like, girl, what's going on with your attitude? But they love you enough to see you past it. But that's not fair to them to have to go through that because you don't want to express your anger correctly. Because you want to people please or you want to be accepted by society and you don't want to be seen as a threat. Sometimes you're going to be seen as a threat. Sometimes you'll be seen as a villain. I say this all the time. There are people in this world where I know for a fact I am their villain. And I do not care at all. That is what you need for your experience and your journey. So be it. You got me. You got me. Like, and I've always felt that way. I've always felt a way for certain villains too. I think one of my first essays in school was writing from the point of view of like the wolf and the three little pigs. And my teacher was just kind of like, this is not what I asked you to do, but it was so exceptional that I'm going to give you an A. But most people write from the pig's perspectives. And I'm like, I don't agree. I feel like they just kind of like, I don't know. I didn't like their energy. And if I find the essay, I will send a picture of it because I still have it. It's at my mom's house. But even reading it, I've always felt like, why do we always try to limit the darker aspects of life? Because they're clear. We see it all the time. You watch the news and you see all the darkness that's in the world. And that's darkness that has no direction. It's unhinged. It's super unhealthy. It's freaking scary. All of those things. And I really believe if people had better outlets for their rage and their anger, they wouldn't be doing things like starting random wars. right? Or harming people in the streets. There has to be an outlet for this aggression. Otherwise, we're just causing more chaos, and not the good kind. You know what I mean? Zuri, hear you. Appreciate you for sharing. Habit of being invisible. Yes, yeah. You're not invisible. Like, it doesn't, you were designed to be seen. You really were. You really, really were. And even if people see you and they don't like what they see, they still see you. I had to get that through my head, especially as a Black woman, when you're told that like certain features about you, or like your complexion, or like your hair texture, like it's not socially acceptable. I had to remind myself, like, that does not mean that you are not beautiful. And that does not mean that you are invisible. It literally means that they see you. And that there is something so unique about you that they are knocked off center. And when you really lead into that, there's something so powerful and magical about you that they cannot accept it. It's so foreign to them. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't get to exist. Like, these are things that we have to start just integrating into our mindsets, okay? Nobody on this earth can stop you, Lotus. You're a fierce love. Thanks, Jack. If we give belief into it, that will be the experience. Yes, and that can be a good or a bad thing. I want us to leave here putting belief into the things that are going to allow us to move forward, though. That's what I want for us, okay? Aura, energy, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you are full in sync. Thank you so much. Yes, divine timing, Zuri. I could not agree more. Thank you. Utilizing rage, beautiful representation. Thank you guys so much. Kiran, thank you. Proper self assured karma. Yeah, we get to play a role in that too. It's not just like what happens to us. Like, your karma is what you put out into the world. It really is. It's what you put out into the world. And so often we let other people dictate what we should be putting out into the world, and then we get our karma back. We're like, what is this? Because we don't know. It didn't really come from us. It came from us being pressured or manipulated into giving something to a person or a group of people or an environment or a space, when in fact we did not want to give that at all. We have to get better at that. There's like this deep desire in me to eliminate people pleasing, because it's just like, it's such a dangerous mindset to be in, because that people pleasing, being nice, these are dangerous things. These are harmful behaviors. They help no one. They literally create lose-lose situations every single time. I've never met a person that considers themselves to be nice that feel like they get something from being nice. I've never met someone like that. It's usually nice people that are complaining about not feeling validated, that have resentment, that feel like people don't care for them, that feel like they can't be themselves. Those are usually nice people. Not kind, nice. Where I'm just being palatable because I want to be accepted by people that I don't know, or that I may not even care about, but I feel like I should do it because I've been conditioned to by tribes. You know, my tribal energy has taught me to be that way, and I haven't yet made that leap into my spiritual adulthood to realize that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Some people just not gonna like me. It's going to be completely okay. It's going to be fine. We're all gonna be good. It's going to be fine. I don't take offense to when people don't like me. I don't take offense when people feel whatever they need to. I don't know what you need to do to live your life. I don't. And I want us to just kind of lean into that a bit more. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or do I feel obligated to? And is this an obligation that I need to actually see through? Because you probably don't need to see the obligation through. It's probably just pressure you've put on yourself. Like that saying of like, pressure creates diamonds. It's like, but also pressure just cracks things and brings it to dust too. Pressure can do multiple things. It's not just for one aspect of life. And to remember that, like, do you need this pressure? Do you need this person to like you? You know, do you even need this person to respect you? I'm sure there are people who don't necessarily respect me, but I don't know who they are. They're not in my orbit. They have no influence, no power over my life. They could tell me today that they don't respect me, and I'd just be like, that's wild. Oh no. Because I don't care. And I really want that for us. I want that for more healers, for more creatives, for more artists, for more divine led beings. Because it's that type of energy that's going to help you to endure. You're here to radically shift the world forward. That's not going to be a walk in the park. It's just not. This world is off kilter. And there are a selected few of us out of the billion that are aware, that are awake. And we cannot let that pressure of those that are not awake make us feel like we should be asleep again. And I really feel like all the things that are happening cosmically, that are happening in the world, that are happening energetically, spiritually, it's all leading us to really understand that truth. You're here to do radical things. You're here to revolutionize. And every single one of us has a role to play. But if you don't play your role, what you end up doing is making it harder for the other person that is actively stepping into their role, that is actively showing up. We literally are all a part of one. If I don't show up and do what I need to do, I'm failing you. And ultimately, I'm failing myself because I'm not living out my purpose. Because of something somebody said when I was 7. Or because someone said like, oh, you don't deserve that. How do you know what I deserve or don't deserve? How do you know that? Please let me know. How do you know? How do you come to this understanding? And most times the people that try to get in your way, that try to tell you that you are not worth something, that you can never, these are blocked creatives. These are people that are so far removed from their own purpose and passions in life that they don't know what to do with that energy, but to give it to someone else that's living in their light. Remember, when you are a light, people see you. You attract everything. Not just things that you want. You also attract the flies, the bugs, the gnats, the things that are annoying. All of it comes towards the light. You have to be able to have discernment to know oh, you're just a blocked creative. You're a blocked artist. Because someone who's living in their purpose and in their passion would support me even if they don't understand. And I realized for myself, that's why I enjoy watching people live in their genius. It doesn't matter what, you could be a chef, you could be a robot engineer. I know nothing about robot engineering at all. But when I get to watch someone do it, I'm just like, I am in awe. It makes me want to cry. It's just like, this is beautiful. This is, you living in your purpose is beautiful. And the reason why it's beautiful to me, the reason why it evokes such a deep spiritual emotion for me is because I am not blocked anymore. It is because I am allowing myself to be a creative, to be an artist, to be human, to be alive. And I can bear witness. I can see the beauty in things. That becomes a superpower that we get when we allow ourselves to be open. We allow ourselves to be delicate. We allow ourselves to be fragile, to be sensitive. We get to have the experience of grace. We get to have the experience of beauty, of innovation. Being in spaces with people that are doing the same thing will always be incredible. You deserve those moments and those experiences. And if you're not getting them, you are not in an environment where people are awake. And that's okay. But once you realize that, start making small steps. They don't have to be leaps. Small steps to finding spaces where people are unblocked. Even if it's your loved one, even if it's a parent, a significant other, send them your love. I love you and I hope that one day you become unblocked. Because man, to see you in your element would be life-changing. But until that happens, I'm going to make sure that I do not add to the problem. I'm going to make sure that I stand in my truth. Because maybe in me doing that, maybe that inspires you. Maybe you see me living my life and you're like, oh snap, what have I been doing? Oh my goodness. But when we try to coach people and teach people to be, no, you got to do, you're misusing your energy that way. You got to refocus on yourself. Pour that energy back into you. When you talk about energy dynamics, you use the word Taurus, right? And it's when the circle around you, I really wish I had a picture to show you. I don't remember what book it's in. But there's a picture of it. It's like a circle, but the circle goes inward and the energy keeps going this way. And when you are focusing on yourself, you're pulling all the good things inward. But when you start focusing on other people, or like, oh, I really wish that they knew this, and you start putting your energy this way and you start to dysregulate your energy fields. You don't want to do that. That is not how we actually love and care for people. We love and care for people by loving and caring for ourselves. Because that love and that energy, it will draw them in. They will willingly come. You won't have to convince them. You won't have to bribe them or bet them. They will naturally come to you. Like a wave coming to shore. It just will keep coming and coming and coming. You have to give them grace and trust that they have their own spiritual team that will guide them if that needs to happen, if they need to be in your orbit. These are all things that expressing our anger and acknowledging our rage helps us to do. It's not about the output. It's really about bringing it home. Feeding your universe, feeding your inner life, your inner garden. Feeding it, nourishing it, and then letting that attract whoever it needs to. Because that's where you'll have your discernment. You'll know exactly who's supposed to be there. When I think about the people in my life now, it's because I'm doing this. And they just come to me and they're wonderful people. They're incredible people. And every time I did this, I pushed that energy out. I just was led out to places that I didn't need to be in. And I had experiences that were heartbreaking and absolutely unnecessary for me to have. Okay? Yes, we know. My inner child is feeling all this right here. Oh, Zooey, it makes me so happy. Yes, channeling critical message. Yes, it's important to have an outlet for you, for the enrage, and an inlet for the outrage. Yes, BD. Yes. Oh, thank you, Cameron. Okay, here's a transformational read for you, dear Lotus. Being Black by Angel Kyoto Williams. Oh, crap. I can't. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can type it out. Being Black by Angel Kyoto. Okay, I wrote it out. Thank you, BD. I love your book recommendations, by the way. Thank you so much. Zahid, I want to release my tension. I'm depressed. When we are in depressed states, it is an opportunity, it's an invitation from source to slow down. So if you're feeling depressed, and this is a feeling of depression, right? Because if it's clinical, that also means that there's some type of chemical imbalance, and you really should work with a medical professional to figure out how to move into that. I say that all the time. When I first started handling acute depression, even the bipolar 2 disorder with the mania and the depression, I had to work with a medical professional first. I personally had to use medication because I didn't know what it felt like to not be depressed. I had been depressed for so long. I was completely unaware of what it felt like to not be. I needed the chemical balance the medicine provided. Once I understood what it felt like, I was able to navigate getting off of it and doing it holistically, because I needed a start point. I needed a ground zero. And I was so lost in my depression that I felt like I was floating endlessly, right? So if that's where you're at, my suggestion would be to go and find a medical professional to help you figure that out, and to tell them the game plan is not for you to stay on that forever. Some people's game plan is to stay on medication, and that's their business. But if that's not your game plan, express that. Express that you just want to find your footing. And once you find your footing, you want to be able to start to decrease so that you can do this yourself, because you have that belief that you can make it happen yourself. Now, if it's a feeling of depression, it is an invitation from source to slow down. That's where you're ebbing. I talk about this often, that we ebb and we flow. It's a part of life. You're just never in flow all the time, and you're never ebbing all the time. There's ups and downs. When you're in your down phase, it's an opportunity for you to rest and to reflect. So my encouragement for you, if you're feeling depressed, is for you to take that time of slowing down where you're like, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to be anywhere, I don't want to talk to anybody, and begin to ask yourself, what do you not enjoy about your life? It'll probably be a lot easier for you to identify because you're in your depression. When we are really happy, it's really hard for us to figure out what we're upset about. So if you're in depression, use that time to take care of yourself, to drink your water, because I'm pretty sure you probably are dehydrated, right? Drink your water, let it nourish your emotional well-being, and start to ask yourself, who, what, where am I not happy in my life? Identify, get very clear on it. And I can assure you that if you do those simple things alone, you'll start to begin to get back into flow because you'll know what's going on and where it's coming from. When we feel depression, it is because we are not paying attention to the things that are influencing us and making us feel really shitty. And it can be things that you would never imagine. I remember that I had a depressive episode because I was living in the basement somewhere. And that sounds like, oh, like, well, you know, whatever, right? You would think because you have a home, like, what does it matter? I then start to learn more about myself, which, you know, depression is always an invitation for you to learn more about yourself, by the way, like always. Because usually when you're in flow, you're learning about the universe and life and all these things that feel outside of you but are inside of you. You know what I mean? But when you are dealing with depression, it's an opportunity to look inward. And I started to do research on myself and like how energy works, things like that. And I found out that in my human design, my environment is mountains. I need to be in places where I can see things. Being in a basement literally drains me. Who knew, right? I would have never known that if I wasn't depressed, right? I would have never guessed that I need to live. And then when I thought about it, all the times that I was thriving in my life, I lived on the top floor or I lived very high up in a building and I could look out my window and see lots of things. And that was sending me energy. Remember, you are an energetic being and you are always in conversation with everything around you. This is not the only way that we converse. You're in conversation all the time. When the wind is blowing, you're in conversation with the universe. When the bees are buzzing, you're in conversation. You're always in conversation. That's why we need times of silence to regulate because we're constantly being given information. And most of it is just going under the radar because we don't have the awareness for it, right? Once I realized that and I shifted that dynamic of just being aware of it, I still living in the basement, but I was like, okay, you can't spend all your time down here. So like just sleep here. The moment you are up, get out of this space immediately. And I started to do that. It was hard. It wasn't easy. I didn't freaking enjoy that at all. I didn't want to go anywhere because I was depressed. But I pushed myself to just sit outside on a step. Okay, well, you did that. What if we walk down the block? Oh, okay, what if we walk to the park? And after a while, I started to build on that energy and I was able to get myself out of that environment. Because sometimes getting out of your environment is the hardest thing. But you have to look for the resources because they're there. Okay? So if you are someone who's feeling depressed or if you're in a depressive state, drink water. I beg of you. I know it sounds very silly, but drink water. Drink water that's going to nourish you, preferably coconut water, watermelon water. If that is too like inaccessible, because it's pretty pricey, getting a bag of chia seeds and pouring some chia seeds. I think it's like a teaspoon. I'm not sure. Double check before you ingest anything. Okay, pouring it into your water. That helps it to hydrate the body because your body needs hydration. I can always tell when someone is dehydrated because they usually are an emotional wreck. They go hand in hand. There's a reason why in all of spiritual entities, water is symbolic of emotion. If you're dehydrated, your emotions are all over the place. They go hand in hand, okay? Do those things and you will start to see that you are getting out of that depressive state. Your body just wants you to take care of yourself. That's it. That's all it wants you to do. And it needs to get your attention and you've been disregarding it, so it had to do something extreme to slow you down. Okay? Please let me know if that helps. The 3 poisons, all struggle. Oh, I can't see this one. I'm sorry, guys. It's moving so fast. Society fears the power you mentioned, strives to control. Yeah. And you know what? Society can fear all they want. I no longer fear my power. And honestly, that should make it very afraid. I tend to get villains as well. A movie that comes to mind is the first Black Panther movie. Yeah. I just felt like Killmonger needed a good therapist, right? He had a lot of childhood wounds, but what he was saying was not incorrect. Now, how he was going about expressing that rage and anger, a little diabolical, not great, not healthy, right? But the where it was coming from, yeah. I mean, I think about Maleficent, the same. When you start to read the villain's origin stories, and Disney has like a whole series on it, by the way, for their villains, you're like, yeah, I would do the exact same thing. That's crazy. Even for like Mufasa, the movie that's coming out, like you find out that Mufasa's adopted, that Scar found him and brought him into his family, into his royal bloodline, and then Mufasa decides to become king. And Scar's like, wait a minute. What? Like, you just got here. You just got here, babes. Like, what? Whoa. I'm doing a kind thing, and this is how you repay me? You pretend that I don't exist anymore, and you start to realize, like, oh wow, this whole entire time I'm thinking, Scar is this horrible lion that is so jealous of his brother, and it's like, no, his brother really just took his throne and was just like, the people love me, I can't help it. And it's just like, yeah, you start to see like the villains have a point. It makes sense, okay? Yes. I even had to learn the hard way sometimes that keeping the balance does not mean I need to be pleasing 24/7. I personally believe that having harmony in your life, because balance and me do not get along, means that I'm never pleasing people. That is never a part of my to-do list, to please anybody at all. Like, that's not, I never have that desire. Even for like my loved ones, it's not about pleasing them. I care more about protecting them. I care more about pouring into them. I care more about making sure that they are healthy, that they feel centered, that they feel my love. I don't care if they're pleased. There are plenty of times where my niece is literally upset with me, and I'm just like, yeah, you're allowed, yeah, you can be upset. She's not pleased by me. She's not. Because she's like, girl, you told me I can't have this toy and I want this toy. Now I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I'm saying? If I were to be a people pleaser, every time she gets upset with me, I'm going to be heartbroken. No. Then you're upset with me. You're not pleased with me? But you know that I love you. You know that I care about you. You know that I will do everything in my power to protect you. And I'm at peace with that. You don't have to like me right now. That's totally fine. I tell her all the time, like, you don't have to like me right now. That's cool. You don't have to like me right now. Like, we're good. I still love you. I don't need you to like me all the time, girl. Like, I don't need anyone to like me all the time. I like me all the time. That's really all that matters to me. Like, you don't have to like me. I don't ever think about pleasing people. I think about caring for people. I think about loving people. I think about doing what I need to do to make sure that I am safe to be around. Those are priorities to me. I could care less if people are pleased around me. When people give me compliments or praise, I deeply appreciate it. And it kind of catches me off guard a little bit because, again, I wasn't doing it for a compliment or for praise. I was doing it because it felt good in my spirit to do. And it's wonderful that you also can acknowledge that and we can share in that love together. But I'm never going into spaces wanting to please anybody. Ever. Like, no. I just want you to feel safe around me. I want you to know that I love you. That's it. We need this in every room, everything you are. Thank you, Jack. Right, Jack? And if there is a need, then what is it that the person came in to teach us about ourselves? Is it really a crush, or is there something we see that we like because we need to breathe more? Zuri, there's something that I would definitely share with you, and then we're going to get into meditation because I realized that we're here for an hour. Okay, so recently I've gotten this download on the 1010 portal about using the planets to help me navigate my life. And I haven't really done that before. I've usually worked with like astrology and the signs, but not the actual planets and what they mean. And like, each sign has a governing planet, things like that. I realized that I was attracted to Venusian energy. So people who had Venus as a dominant governing planet, I would attract them all the time. And it was because I felt like I lacked that. And when I started to realize that, it blew my mind. Pretty much all of my exes have some type of Venus placement in their top 3. And I'm just like, oh, I was attracted to the energy that they were expressing, the way that they were aligning to Venus and utilizing that energy and expressing it outward. That's what I was attracted to. Because quite often I was kind of like, I don't understand how we would ever be together. This makes any sense to me. And I'm like, oh no, yeah, you have Venetian energy. Like this, I get it. I get it now. Like they have funny sayings where it's like, if you attract a Scorpio, you're asking for transformation, because that's really what we do. We do that all the time. I'm like a new person every 2 seconds. Like these are things that you can start to lean into and understand. So when you're talking about like the crush aspect, you start to realize like, no, there's something about their energy that I would like to express. And I want to see, I'm getting an opportunity from the universe to see it up close, to see if I want to express it that way or if it's another way for me to express it. But we never have that discernment when we need it. It usually comes in hindsight. So now moving forward, I'm like, okay, am I attracted to this person because of who they are, or is it because of the energy that I'm experiencing from them because of their dominant planet? And it sounds very silly, but I have a track record that I have to acknowledge. That's why I also enjoy fixed sign people, because again, they're intense. Scorpio people tend to be very transformative. Aquarius tend to be very innovative. These are things that I need, that I require in life. So having them around me feels good. Leos are really confident. They have really big hearts. That's something that I need, that I love, right? If you get into astrology more, my Scorpio sun is in the Leo degree. I was born from a Leo woman. It makes sense that I would be attracted to that energy naturally, right? Taurus energy, Venus energy, right? They're very stable people. They have their money together. They look good. They like to be in beautiful spaces. I love everything about that. So yeah, I am naturally drawn to fixed signs because there are aspects about them that I thoroughly enjoy and that make me feel alive. So yes, there is truth to that, at least through like planetary comprehension of energy. Okay. Thank you, BD. Yes, the circle of Taurus. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, okay, yes, BD. Please drop these recommendations in the Lotus Living chat. I beg of you. This is so good. Enemy, wow, extremely timely. I just made it in a bit ago, and I'm currently dealing with some serious heartbreak. I'm sending you so much love, beauty. Oh my goodness. I will defy my orbit. Yes, Marquand, you get to decide what your orbit is. No one else. Yes. I know, BD is the bookmaster general, right? I know. We're going to have such a good book list. Yes. Yes. I love that, Marquand, defining our orbit. Yes. Peter, thank you so much for your donation. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Carl Jung said, invite depression in like a guest and hear what she has to say. Because there's information there, for sure. For sure. Yes, medication as a compass. Yes. Yes, exactly. Like, help me figure out my North Star. Once I know where it is, though, I'm good, you know? Tashana, hi. Yes. Yes. The heat, oh my goodness, same. Aerial spaces give me so much energy. Yes, yeah, when you know that, it helps so much. And my other girlfriend, hers was like caves, and she kept having like these like top floor things, and she was so depressed. And I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be something cozy and like dark. Like this is too much light for you. And just having these understandings about your energy does so much for you. Okay. Good morning, Lotus. Good morning, lovely people. Hi, Aisha. Jerry, regarding crush and something inside us that needs to be seen. Exactly what I'm reflecting on lately. Your presence is precious today. I love this. Yes, the movement is key. Yes, being able to see the mountains to the east from my kitchen is so important. So important. Every time I see mountains, I'm just kind of like, I love you. Yes, Jerry, it makes me think of limerence and what is the true meaning of attraction. Yes, 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 BD. I listen to Layla almost every day, reminded of her by my dear friend Elisa. Oh, I love this. Yeah, spring water too. That's a great one for staying hydrated, guys. Human design is such a beautiful tool to have. My environment is caves, okay? And I find that I really do well when I see what's coming, no surprises. Yes, hearing you changes my whole world every single time. I appreciate you so stinking much. I love you, Aaron. Thank you. Yes. He just needed a good therapist and a really good hug. There was a scene where I'm like, I just wish that Black Panther just hugged him. He just needed a hug. Like, just hug him. Just hug him. Don't fight him. You know, that warped understanding of masculine energy. It's like, I'm going to fight you until you understand that you're wrong. It's like, he really just needed a hug. Like, every time it's like, hug him now. Hug him now. Okay. Oh, this is a good time. Hug him now. Just hug him. He has not been hugged. You can tell this man has not been hugged. He is touch deprived, which is why he's doing all of this. Like, Please, me and Marvel Universe, we have beef every now and then. Sometimes someone once said to me, "The Lion King," to describe that movie. Yes, yes, literally, like now Mufasa. Come on now, that was not your throne. Oh, I want to check out Wicked. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I'm looking forward to the movie too. Every time I think of Black Panther, I get this ping about Chadwick. He was amazing. He truly was a phenomenal human being. He's also on my ancestor altar. Um, yes, yeah, he was wonderful. Like, he was a wonderful person. More of Chadwick. That energy in the world, we need it. Yes. I never can watch TV, but kids and their father watch everything. But I do like comedy. But I really enjoy sitting down last Christmas on the couch with my kids. I guess I never felt that as a child, but it felt good. These are all wonderful things to remember, to come back to. These also help us to process our rage and anger as well. When you also have, remember we talked about the detoxing, the sweetening? Like the detoxing is like rage, anger, right? And then the sweetening are the moments in life that you can go back to that feel really safe for you, that feel really good. You still need both of them, okay? I don't need you to like me all the time. I love me all the time. Love that. Yes, Joy. Like, it drives people crazy, but I'm like, yeah, that's not what I need from you. Like, you have a different set of skill set and energy that I'm clearly attracted to, that we're supposed to be exchanging. It's not for you to like me. I can assure you of that. I love my Venus in Aquarius. Ooh, that sounds very, very, very not to play with at all. Like, not to play with at all. Oh my goodness, I love that. So Taurus and Libra rising people have Venus ruled charts. Yes, yes, yes. If it's in your dominant top 3 or even in your Venus, there's a heavy influence of Venusian energy. So even though I'm ruled by Mercury, I have a Scorpio stellium and a Capricorn stellium. So Saturn as well as Mars and Pluto have just as much experience and as much influence in my chart and how I show up as Mercury does. Yes, BD, the ruler of the writing and the chart ruler. That's where you start counting the houses in order. Yes. Let me go run and find out what my partner is. I need to know what I like. LOL. Marquand. I don't necessarily know if I need to be with Venusian people. I just thoroughly enjoy their energy. I just enjoy, they fascinate me. I just love them. No, he was really, all of his movies. And even as James Brown, he was amazing. Yes, the ruler of the rising in the chart. Yes. Lotus, you are a true inspiration while painting the walls. Oh, yay, DJ. Is there a possibility to send you an email? Yes, of course. I have a small question because I can't donate this way here. If not, no, please. You guys can always send me emails. You can either respond to the emails that I send out. You can send direct messages through Insight Timer. Yeah, you can always reach out to me. Sari, I love your rare semicolon use. You're right. Oh my God, I love that, Jack. Semicolons too. You guys are so hilarious. Okay, beautiful. So we understand what we're being called to do, right? We get it? Okay. I was going to do a card reading, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we understand the assignment. I think we get that we're stars. And we need to acknowledge that this week, okay? So the 3 main things I want to highlight before we get into our meditation for this energy is that you need to have the courage to initiate and take action, even if the action feels imperfect. I want you to reflect on where you've been hesitating and take one small step forward, okay? You can use affirmations like, I'm courageous and I trust the path unfolding before me. I will drop that affirmation in here. And again, I'll be dropping my class notes in the garden too. So you guys will have access to that too. The second thing is release impatience and old frustrations. Aries energy can bring things to a boiling point. That's why I feel like a simmering pot. Making us more aware of the lingering frustrations or old patterns that need to be released. The Hunter's Moon offers a chance to let go of unhealthy emotions or unresolved conflicts so you can move forward with clarity. You can do this by practicing journaling. You guys, I say this all the time, to identify what anger or frustration you're holding on to. You can engage in physical movement, which would be so good to do this week. So good. Aries energy is like, go, 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 let's go. That's Aries energy down, okay? They love to be on the go. So much energy. Utilize that. Especially if you're someone that feels like you don't have a lot of energy, you might be surprised what you have this week, okay? And then the last thing is strengthen boundaries and reclaim your power. Aries teaches us about healthy self-assertion and honoring our independence. The supermoon can help you reclaim your personal power by setting clearer boundaries, whether in relationships, work, or with yourself. Plenty of blessings to set better boundaries with ourselves, because if we can do that, then dealing with other people will be a lot easier too. And you can reevaluate where your energy is being drained and say no to what no longer serves you. And you can meditate on your inner fire, visualizing it strengthening your sense of self-worth and boundaries. Okay, so these are some ways that you can tap into that Aries full moon, super moon energy that we are all tapped into. If you haven't been tapped into it before, by the end of this live, you probably will be tapped into it, because I am feeling it. I am literally so hot right now. Okay, are there any questions before we get into our meditation? Okay. Yes. Oh my goodness, him on Saturday Night Live. No, Chadwick was truly, he's left us with so many gifts, you know? Truly left us with so many gifts. I'm so glad I listened to my tuition and came in today. Let me follow your page so I can stay in tune and stay in touch. Yes, please do, Zeri. Goddess Mo. Yes, I'm so happy you're here. Okay, if we're good, we're going to just jump into our meditation, okay? So what I would love for you to do is just to get comfortable. It's going to be a quick meditation, guys. There we go. When I think of Aries, I think of words that begin in I. Ideation, individuation, impulsive, very impulsive, impetuous, independent, imagination, insightful, immersive, and patient. These are all great words, and I would agree. These all sound like Aries energy. Like, Aries people are like no joke. They're very, and sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, breathe, it's okay. They're also the baby of the zodiac too. So they have a lot of me energy of like, I am a star. They are the sign that's like, do you not, can you not? I'm a star. I don't care what you said, I'm a star. Like, I don't even care. I'm a star. I don't care if you said no, I said yes. That's their energy, and we're leaning into that energy this week, okay? Can we have a bottle today and produce it? Maybe. We're the bottles. Aries, I am, period. I am a star. I am amazing. I said yes. These are the things. Competitive, yes, they are very competitive. Yes, we can't stay contained. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into it. I would love for you to close your eyes if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good to close your eyes, just soften your gaze. The purpose of this moment is to refocus back on yourself. So we're lowering one sense, which is our ability to see, and tuning it inward so we can see our inner world, our inner garden, our inner life, okay? I want you to begin softening the body with that next inhale, breathing in, expanding lower belly, letting it rise into the heart space. And then an open mouth exhale, release. Soften the shoulders, relax the face, unclench your jaw. Deep inhale, breathing in. On that exhale, maybe exhale through the mouth, leaving space between your teeth, dropping your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Another deep inhale, breathing in, expanding the lower belly, breathing into the lower back, filling up the heart space, maybe bringing the shoulders up and back, feeling a bit of a slight pinch between your shoulder blades, tilting the chin up, and slow exhale, release, softening the scalp, behind the eyes. Allowing yourself to be in this moment. Take in the sounds around you. See if you can feel the warmth of the fire of this Aries energy. Feel that inner flame that we all have. And use your inhale and your exhale to expand the flame, feed the flame. And notice how that feels in the body. If there's any tingling sensations within the chest or in the arms, maybe you're getting goosebumps. Continue to focus on that inner flame at the root chakra. And use those inhales and exhales to expand the flame. And on that exhale, let go and let the flame rise a little higher. Breathe in, let the flame rise. Exhale, let the flame rise higher. Almost so you feel the heat going into the sacral, the solar plexus, into the heart, into the throat. Let the flame go into the third eye to really awaken and help you to visualize that you are a star, that you are meant to be here. You are meant to shine bright. Let that flame go into the third eye, into the crown chakra. And as you do this, let the body relax more. Feel comfortable with this heat. Feel comfortable with this flame, this power. Notice how you can direct it. You can harness your power. It's not just raw and wild energy. Slow exhale, release. Sit in your power. Acknowledge your ego. Acknowledge your desire to want more, to want better for yourself, to be seen, to be adored, to say yes to your wildest dreams. Let that flame light up each energy center and awaken the energy fields. Deep inhale, breathing in. Slow exhale, letting go. And I want you to bring your hand over your heart. And I want you to place one hand over your solar plexus. This chakra governs our ego, our personal power. And as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in through the heart space. And as we exhale, we'll exhale through the solar. So we're breathing in love and we're sending it to the solar so that when we exhale and we let go, we're sending loving energy out into the world. Our personal power that is loved, that is cared for, that is nourished, will be seen. Deep inhale, breathing into the heart. Exhale through the solar. You might even notice that your hand feels a little hot around the solar plexus. Deep inhale, breathing into the heart. Exhale through the solar, letting go. Deep inhale, breathing in through the heart. Exhale through the solar. Beautiful. And I want you to set an intention for yourself this week. As we move into this week, understanding how this Aries energy is going to show up for us, understanding that we need a space for our rage, we need an outlet for our anger, we need to allow ourselves to be the stars we were designed to be. What intention can you set for yourself that helps you harness this knowing? I'll give you guys a moment. My prayer for you is that this week you remember in every breath you take that you are a star, that there is no one on this earth like you, and that makes you incredible, that makes you a walking and living phenomenon, that gives you a sense of power that needs to be wielded. And I pray that you wield your power with grace, with love, with discernment, with kindness, that you shed any people-pleasing, that you shed any need to be nice, that you embrace your inner villain if need be, but most of all, you love yourself regardless of how anyone else feels about you. And in doing that, that makes you powerful. And no one, not even you, can take that away. Deep inhale, breathing in. And on that exhale, let go. Drop your hands into your lap or by your side. You can gently open your eyes and come back to the space. Let me know how you're feeling. There is no book club, but we do have a book chat in the garden where you can, I leave like recommendations for books and things like that there. So if you ever want to leave a recommendation, BD, that might be a great place for you too. In the garden, we literally have a chat for books. We have a chat for wins. We have a birthday chat. So anyone's birthdays that are coming up, you can like leave your birthday in there. We'll like celebrate you. And then we have a community chat where we can just kind of be, it's almost like texting each other, if you will, like what we do here, but you can do it pretty much any day. We don't have to be live to do it. So that's all in the garden. That's the private membership that I have on Patreon. I'm looking forward to having more members be a part of it and to continue to have these conversations and go more in depth with them, okay? I sent out an email yesterday with some really fun invites. If you want to come celebrate my birthday with me, I'm doing a virtual birthday party on the 26th. You're more than welcome to come. It is donation based, but you do not have to donate. You can just show up. I just would love to have you there to see your face, to put a voice to the words that I read every week. So if you can make it, come through and yeah, let that fire do what it needs to do for you this week, okay? Yes, and it's on Patreon. It's called The Garden. If you look on the email, I'm not sure if you're on the email list, BD. If you're not on the email, Firefly, hi. If you're not on the email list, shoot me a DM and I'll put you on the email list. But yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm the 28th. Happy birthday to your niece. My other niece is a Scorpio too. I love. And Parker's a Scorpio moon and it shows. It shows. It's very intense energy. Firefly, thank you so much for your donation. Grace, I'm so happy you enjoyed the meditation. This replay will be available most likely on Tuesday, which happens to be Mars Day, which is also a great day to tap into Aries energy. It'll be available then. And we have our midweek tapping on Wednesday, okay? And then at some point in time, you'll get a podcast episode from me, y'all. At some point in time. It'll be good, okay? Yes, my best friend is Scorpio Moon. I love this. Oh my goodness, Shayna, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness, Scorpio Moon, that's a lot of energy. Yeah, yeah. She's a healthy blend of her parents. She's a Sagittarius sun. Her mother's a Scorpio sun, but she's a Scorpio Moon. Her father's a Capricorn sun, and she's a Capricorn rising. So that's an intense little child. Lotus, so grateful for you and your shared precious presence. Thank you. May I ask for any tips on best navigating heartbreak during this time? Yes, I would say allow yourself to feel the grief. I actually have an episode on my podcast on grief, and people don't realize like that heartbreak that you're feeling is grief. You're feeling grief. So I would suggest checking out that episode because there are really good tips for you to use in the moment to help you navigate the heartbreak that you're experiencing. But I also just want to leave you with the understanding that when you feel like you're experiencing heartbreak, it's because your heart is breaking open, it's unfolding. And sometimes that can be a very discomforting feeling, right? Of like, oh, I feel like it's cracking, but it's cracking open. So remember that it's going to reveal a softer, more tender part of you. That's what comes with grief. That's actually the gift that it brings us, that we get to be more tender and we get to take better care of ourselves. So if you're not taking care of yourself, use this as an invitation to care more for you, whether that's doing something for your inner child because they're probably hurting as well. So maybe going to the park or being in nature will do you go for a nature walk. Look at the trees, hug them, look at the leaves, all the things that you can do. These are great ways to navigate heartache. There's simple things outside of also staying hydrated, especially because it's a full moon. Drink your water too, okay? But the podcast episode is number 3 in Lotus Like. And here's the podcast name for anyone that does not know. If you go on any platform, it's there. And it's episode 3 of this season. And it's called Good Grief, okay? Gratitude for the meditation session. You're so welcome, Zuri. I'm grateful for all the good energy today. Thanks to everybody. Yes, everybody contributed. It was wonderful. Love and meta to all. Hope I can send you a message for donation from Netherlands. Yes, DJ, please shoot me a DM, okay? Yes, Sagittarius here. Yes, I'm a progressive Sagittarius sun. I love that. Scorpio is an intense energy signature. It truly is. It's not for the weak. Thank you, Stand on Business, y'all, with the supermoon. Stand on business. Stand on business, okay? I don't know if you want to be a Scorpio. It's like we deal with it because we have to, you know? That makes so much sense. The philosopher king, Sagittarius. Yes, it does make sense. Standing on fire and business for sure. Shayna, take care of yourself. Yes, yes, yes. I'm having a heart open experience also, as you should. It's really necessary. I know we don't like the feeling of heartbreak, but man, the thing that comes, as someone who experienced a lot of heartbreak this year, I am so much more kinder and softer and loving because of it. Don't let it harden you, because that's our initial response to heartache. Let it soften you. Trust the process. Let yourself be sensitive. Let yourself be fragile. Let yourself be delicate. Okay? Yes, thank you for putting the love up. Of course. I don't want to say it, Scorpio. No, look. I'm an honest woman, okay? There's one thing I'm honest. Being a Scorpio is chaotic. I thoroughly enjoy it, but it is chaotic, yes. Lotus, not a fan of Scorpio dudes. I'm not. I would prefer you to be a Sagittarius, if I'm being honest. Okay? Sagittarius too, yes. I love Sagittarius. I don't know. I love most signs, but like Scorpio men and I don't know. Again, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. It's fine. I'm sure they're wonderful human beings. It's not for me. It's not for me. Okay? No, I love Sag energy. You guys are really cool. Really, really cool ass people. Just really chill. Like, you have a turn up side, but like, I never have to see that side because I respect your boundaries. So I'm always happy around Sagittarius. Okay, y'all, I love you so much. I hope that this was nourishing for you. Hope that it was healing for you. Again, if you can donate, please do. You can donate here. You can donate through my email. There's different, at the top of it, it shows you different ways to email, to donate. If you're not in the US, please feel free to let me know if there's other platforms that I need to become a part of to make it easier for you guys to donate. Just let me know. That's something I can definitely do. And yes, I will see you guys literally on Wednesday. I'm so excited that we have it on Monday now, so I feel like we're closer in energies. It's going to be good. Breathe, drink water, let your fire be directed. The flames, the frustration you might feel, the irritants, the annoyance, all of that's a reminder that you are a star and you're not shining bright enough. So go do something to shine brightly. Don't take it out on someone else. Okay? Remember that it's a sign for you to shine brighter. All right? And I will probably see you in a tapping session soon because we have daily tapping sessions in the Lotus Living group on Insight Timer. That is the free group. And they happen every single day. And I've been tapping every day. Okay? All right. I love you guys. You're so welcome. Truthfully, though, I love all zodiacs. Yes. Love, love, love that I can be here today. Thank you so much, Shining. Joy, I'm so happy you're here. Sending you guys so much love.